Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to share with you how to draft a tank top pattern. So let's get started. So over here I'm going to first start to mark a straight line on a pattern paper. And this line is going to serve as the shoulder line. Then we are going to measure half of our shoulder measurement. Mine is 8 inches. And then we are also going to measure half of our armhole round, and I'm going to mark 9.5 inches. Then connect this two from the shoulder line all the way to the armhole point. So from that point over there, I am going to square across the pattern paper, and this line is going to form as a chest line. Then from there, I am going to mark from the shoulder line all the way to the waistline, and mine is 16.5 inches. And then I'm going to mark also from the shoulder line to the desired length of the tank top. Then I am going to square across the pattern paper on both of the point, also on the waistline point. Now I am going to implement half of my bust circumference. Then I'm going to subtract half an inch. The reason why we're subtracting half an inch is because I am going to be using a stretch material. So I am going to mark from that chest line all the way down to the full length of the blouse. Now right on the length, I am going to mark half an inch going out. And then right on the waist, I am going to mark half an inch in. Then I'm going to connect these 2 points. Then from the waistline, I am going to connect from the waist point to the chest line. And we are done shaping our tank top. Now moving on to creating the neckline, I'm going to create a neckline of around 4 inches wide. And then I am going to go in or create a sleeve of around 2 inches. And then from the neck depth, I am going to mark 4 inches. So here you can decide the depth of your neck width to be lower. You can choose to be 6 inches, but I'm going to do 4 inches. So now I'm just going to connect these points to create a neckline. The next thing is I am going to mark the center point of the armhole and then go in by 2.5 inches. Now I'm going to connect these points from the chest line to the shoulder line. Then I'm going to mark 1 inch so that I can create a shoulder slope. And we are done with our front pattern. Now drafting the back pattern, I am going to lower my neckline, which is 1.5 inches. And that is going to be for the back neckline. So the next thing we need to do is to add seam allowance. Because I am going to be adding or using a stretch material, you don't need to add a lot of seam allowance. So for me, I'm just going to add 0.5 centimeter seam allowance around my pattern. I'm going to separate these 2 pieces. I'm going to draft the back panel of the tank top. So right here, I'm just transferring the center point of the armhole to the back panel of our tank top. So from that center point, I'm just going to go in because the back of the tank top is a bit shallower compared to the front. So I am just going to connect that point from the chest line all the way to the shoulder point. And then don't forget to add your seam around the armhole also, and then cut out the excess piece. Now guys, we are done drafting the back panel of our tank top. So over here guys, I have already cut out the panels, front and the back, and I am using a stretch material. As you can see, it has a lot of stretch. So now the next thing that we're going to do is to first place the front and the back panel right sides facing. Go ahead, and I am going to use a serger, so you can go ahead and sew this according to the seam allowance you have left out. So you can sew the side seam and also the shoulder seam. Now once you're done sewing both of the panel together, I went ahead and I cut the two strips, which are one is going to be for the neckline, and I did cut it an inch smaller than the actual size of my neckline. The width of this tube is actually 2 inches. On fold, it becomes 1 inch. So I'm just going to connect it right on the neckline, and also connect it also right around the armhole. Please guys, when you cut out this binding, make sure that it is 1 inch smaller than the actual size of your neckline or also of your armhole. So I went ahead and take this into the sewing machine so that I can attach the binding and also around the armhole. So guys, this is how it looks so far. I'm going to go ahead and take it into the pressing machine just to flatten out the seam. So right at the bottom, we are almost done. I am going to go ahead and hem it 1/2 inch and then sew a stretch stitch right at the bottom. You can use a stretch needle or you can use a twin needle. So over here, I am not using a twin needle, I'm using a stretch needle because I'm using a stretchier fabric. So guys, when I'm done, I'm just going to show you how it turned out. And there we go guys, I really love the fit. The only thing I would have changed is to go in a little bit more at the back so that it looks good. But other than that guys, I really enjoyed making this project. As for me, see you on the next one.